Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is March 28th, 2019, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the major economic events of the day, just one event really coming out today out of the United States at 2:30 South African time. It's a final GDP number coming out. Now, okay, altogether, this is not going to be a crazy wild number, so just be aware of it. That it is coming out, but I don't think it's going to be much of an event. Okay, now looking at the markets across the board, I'm talking about Forex, commodities, stocks, indices, everything has been really choppy trading. Okay, nothing really jumping up and, trending in one direction or another. It just seems like we've kind of flatlined after a massive, fall that we sold off sharply from 26,000 down to 21,000, and then bouncing right back. I'm talking about the Dow Jones right now. And then, the rest of the market's kind of finding themselves. So, it's just the sign of the times, okay? After a major storm, there's just the quiet and just finding ourselves again. Okay, so just be aware of that. Now, looking at the indices, the JSE rallied yesterday from the bottom of the range. That was a decent trade. And then the Dow Jones has pretty much has been flat. Now, looking at the commodities, gold broke its trend line yesterday. Okay, again, not in a massive trading range, but at a decent range where you could have pulled out $10 to $15. Okay, we'll take a look at that in just a moment. And oil has pretty much been flat, but let's take a look at today's future opportunities and see what we can draw from today's trading. So let's start here with the Euro USD. We're looking at a 4-hour chart, and as you can see, we're at the bottom of the range on a 4-hour chart. Now, I don't think it's irresponsible to start actually buying in this 1254-ish level. Okay, I think it's actually a decent trade. I just wouldn't get too aggressive with it. The next real support level is 1188, as you can see, 11188. So that's really, almost a 100 pip move between our support levels here. So just be aware of it. But again, like I said, I don't think it's irresponsible to just start buying a little bit into this area. Now, looking at the GBP, it's been flat. Look at this, okay? It's just been, in a 20 to 30 pip range over the past, week and a half. So really tough to trade, okay? But if you're trading just this area, okay, this area, and you look at this area, that's not a bad trading range. Okay, so as long as you're buying it somewhere, around here, okay, that's your entry level, and your exit level or your closing, okay, or your take short somewhere up here, you're doing okay. Okay, you're trading the higher probability of the trade. Okay, trading somewhere in the middle is a smaller probability trade. So with that said, I mean, we are at that bottom of the range. Let's see if it does pop up later today and see if it does rally. Now, looking at the USD ZAR. Now, yesterday, we broke above this a little bit. Okay, this was an area to break. Okay, 1490, excuse me, 1450 to 1460. That it was a decent trade. Okay, but ultimately, we're at our next resistance level. If we look at the daily chart, you're at that next resistance level right here. Okay, so the question is that will this continue further higher? Okay, if it does continue, then my target price is 1482 versus the dollar, and this means that the rand is getting weaker versus the dollar again. Okay, and with that said, you got to take this into consideration, that it may hit that 1482 level. So just be aware of that. Now, looking at gold, all right, now this was the layup yesterday. Okay, I'm going to put it into a 1-hour chart. Now, we were really just flirting with this trend line. Okay, we didn't break it, we didn't breach it, but once we broke this trend line and we broke the moving averages, that was your entry level. 1315 was your entry, and going down to 1310, okay, 1309, not a bad trade. 5 points to get out of there. Okay, $5 is a pretty good trade. Okay, but it was a high probability trade. It was an easy trade. It wasn't something that was going to give you a heart attack in order to make that money. So these type of trades I really like when they do change some character. Now, looking at this, I think we're going to be trading in a new trading range. Okay, it almost looks like a head and shoulder formation. Okay, there's your head. That's one shoulder, that's your second shoulder. So at this stage, we may see it bounce, okay, further up. Now, it may just trade between this 1318 and 1310, but again, look at the trading range. It's really very tight, okay? An 8-point, trading range for gold is almost, unheard of. I mean, if we think about where we've gone through from, 1212, okay, since November up until here, this is really marginal, very, very tight range that we've been in. Okay, so across the board, as you can see, we've been in a very tight range. So jumping into that JSC, this was a nice rally yesterday, and I did speak about it. This was a nice support level at 49, 300-ish level. Okay, and we rallied all the way up to 50,000, and that, we had a gap up, and we continued that gap on the way up. Now this is really great. Okay, now now we're getting into a lesser probability trade at this level. Okay, I wouldn't really necessarily buy this at this area. Okay, however, I would wait for a pullback. Okay, maybe to the 50,000 level, and then start buying it again. Okay, but it is trading, but you got to be very careful about where your entries are. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, I mean, this is horrendous. Okay, this is really bad. I mean, in a 300-point range over the past 2-3 weeks, which is, it's crazy. Okay, it's very, very tight range relatively to what we've been trading. Okay, on the Dow Jones from 26,000 down to 21,000. So that's a range of 5,000 points in less than a month. And here over the past month, we're trading within a range of 300 points. So it's 5,000 versus 300 points. So your opportunities are much less in this type of environment. Kind of have to adjust your, take profits and also adjust your goals, okay, in order to, accept the fact that the markets are not trading as volatile as they were before, okay? But like I said, we're right here in the middle of the range. Nothing really popping up at me and saying, okay, it's a clear buy. Looking at the stocks, nothing is really breaking out higher. So there's nothing just jumping out and saying, bias. Okay, so just, in these type of situations, you just have to trade a little bit lighter, focus on some of the ones that are showing some character and potential, to make those recoveries, like the Euro USD, as we spoke about, or the gold that may just bounce after it's hitting that soft level at 1310. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.